Most people are making Brazil favourites for the World Cup, along with the host nation Italy.
Yep.
Would that be your assessment?
Yeah, I don't think that's too far away. I think there's about 6 or 7 countries now. I don't think there's one outstanding team. But if you look at, obviously, the Dutch, because of how well they won the European Nations Cup 2 years ago in Germany, the Italians with the home advantage, the Brazilians with all their players already playing in Italy, West Germany, obviously, you can never ever kind of put them to one side. They've got an outstanding side. You look round Europe, I mean, Republic of Ireland, Scotland, everybody's got a chance this time, and I think it's going to be a very interesting World Cup. There's no one outstanding team, so anyone can get through and get to the final this time. Obviously, I think we've got a good chance.
Well, it looks as if East Germany will kick off, and Thomas Doll,
Yes.
the man flicking the ball from foot to foot there, number 11 for East Germany. They'll be playing from left to right in the all-white strip. Brazil, of course, in those famous yellow shirts and blue shorts. And we're still waiting for the pitch to be cleared. The presentation, that's Brazil's manager, Lazzaroni. I'm not quite sure what the trophy is. Looks rather special, Don.
Yes, it looks as though that player, whoever he is, has won the Footballer of the Year in Brazil, or it looks as though he's been given some special kind of award.
So then, everything's set. And we're now underway with East Germany playing from left to right. And the ball played back to Sammer, the tall centre-back. Plays it wide to the right. Sammer again. That's Lidner on the far side. East Germans keeping possession.
They're not easy to beat, the East Germans, Ron. They're a well-disciplined group of players. They've got good technical skills, but they'll sit back and they'll soak up all the pressure. The Brazilians won't have it easy, I'll tell you that.
Well, the first possession now for the Brazilians. Dunga, lovely ball with the outside of his foot. And the first free kick of the game as Dunga is bundled over. And another free kick. Kirsten this time, the man who did the fouling.
Good running off the ball, and he was checked virtually by 3 East German defenders. It's not the best of places to give a free kick away against Brazil.
Goalkeeper Heine organising his wall. Well, just 2 men in fact. Now, what can we expect here? So often Brazil able to score from these situations.
Well, it's the same man, Ron. It's the left back, Branco, and if you remember at Wembley, he took them virtually from any distance inside the English half. And you tend to think, oh no, he's not going to shoot from there, but I'll tell you what, more times than not he got it in or around the target. Lovely left foot and a lot of swing with the outside of his left foot.
Well, the goalkeeper not taking the goal kicks for East Germany. We still haven't been given the final lineups from either side, but this is Kirsten for East Germany. Lidner on the left. No problems with that one. Brazil these days, Don, of course, play a sweeper system, which would seem very much against their tradition.
Yeah, they try and use it positively though. I mean, he will try and come through the back, or they release one of their centre backs. I am a little bit surprised they don't play Sweeper, because I think the two centre backs are super players. Ricardo Gomez, who's at Benfica, and Moser, who's at Marseille. They are, and they're big European type of centre backs. You know, they are really built. They're 6'3", 6'4". I'm a bit surprised they have to play with a sweeper.
Well, still Brazil in possession. Kirsten again for East Germany, and they win their first free kick. Lidner. It's neatly done, but no problems for Taffarel. Branco.
The two fullbacks the Brazilian fullbacks are good at attacking. Jorginho and Branco. I mean, when they get the chance, they can fly down the line. And they can cross good balls as well.
And the sort of system that they played on allows them to push on.
Well, that's one of the things about playing with a sweeper. Your fullbacks can push in, and they can mark wingers tight, and then obviously they can go on the break. So it does help in that situation.
Peschke plays it to Ernst, the most experienced player in the East German lineup with 55 caps. It's an easy one for Schuster. Very much the settling down period at the moment.
Yes, well, both teams respect each other to start with, and as soon as they lose possession, they fall back in their own half. You know, in basketball style, really, they won't go and challenge for the ball in the opponent's half. They'll regroup in their own half and say, here we are, come and get through us.
Alamau.
And both teams are doing that at the moment.
This is Burger. Ernst. Free kick to Brazil.
You'll find that quite a lot, Ron, is that the East Germans will build up down one side of the pitch, and then they'll hit a diagonal ball to the opposite side of the pitch, just to avoid the sweeper, just to miss the sweeper out, because obviously the sweeper can't be on both sides of the pitch. So they'll build up down one side and then switch it with a diagonal ball to the other side, as they did then.
Still no real chances. Flags up on the far side. That's offside. The first real hint of Brazil pressure. Control is so good, Don, is it?
Well, I was quite surprised he didn't play it first time into the runner. If he'd have played the ball on the volley first time into the runner, he wouldn't have been offside. Normally the Brazilians would do that.
East Germans back in numbers. Still haven't quite got it clear. And now a chance for the East Germans to break. Stubner. This is a good run.
Big Moser did very well defending there. He held the player up against the touchline, kept him down the touchline, then stepped in and took the ball away. Moser, Chrissy Waddle, you know, when with the England team, he's always talking about Moser, because obviously he plays with him at Marseille, and he said what a great player he is. Not only a good defender, but super in the air, with a lovely touch on the ball.
Moser, incidentally, played in the Flamengo side when he was back home in Brazil, which beat Liverpool 3-0 to win the World Club Cup in 1981. He's been round some times, now 29 years old, Moser.
Once more, good defending there. That's Ricardo Gomez. That's the lad who plays for Benfica and will play in the European Champions final against AC Milan. I was very impressed with him at Wembley. That's why I can't understand all this sweeper business. I think the two centre-backs are super players. There they are now in the picture. This is Big Moser on the ball. Comfortable on the ball, knocks it about.
Silas. Always prepared to attack defenders. Found a little space for himself. This could be interesting.
What they do in Brazil, in midfield there, the Brazilians, Ron, is that Dunga will hold. He'll be the anchor man. He'll be the playmaker. He'll be the fella who'll show for anybody on the ball can give it to Dunga. But the two fellas who'll make all the runs forward will be Silas and Valdo. You know, and they can do it both ways. They can run forward without the ball and they can run forward with the ball, which for midfield players is a terrific advantage.
East Germany tending to give it away a little in midfield at the moment, just as they're starting to build attacks. And that's a corner, first corner of the game, with just about 8 minutes gone. Still no goals. But Brazil's first corner of the game. Branco will go across to take it.
Should be an in-swinger, Ron. He's gone over there with his left foot to bring it in on that near post.
Didn't really hit it well.
Well, Ron, if you look at the pitch you see there, you've got all those advertising audience, and I know what life's about now in football, but the lad couldn't take the corner for advertising audience. He got no run-up. He took 2 steps now to kick the ball. They've virtually got those advertising audience right up against the corner of the flag. I mean, that's just getting carried away, that.
So the throw to Brazil, which Jorginho takes. This is Moser. It's neatly done. Silas. And a good tackle.
Now that's good Brazilian play, where the ball's played squared across the pitch, and then all of a sudden one player, as he's coming square pitch, will play it in and go. You know, the square ball comes to him, he'll play it into a front player, play his 1-2 off the front player and get forward. That's good Brazilian football.
It's a free kick to East Germany. Well, there's the challenge.
Well, as much as they're noted for very good, skillful football, the Brazilians, they're still ruthless enough that if there's a danger, they'll bring the player down. I mean, that defender there was last man, so he's going to take no prisoners. So he brought them down. So, you know, they are as professional as any European country.
Branco again.
Alamao is always a little bit disappointing when he plays for Brazil. I love him when he plays for Naples. You know, he gets forward all the time and he looks as though he's going to create and score goals. And yet when he plays for Brazil, doesn't seem to play as well.
Well, he was Napoli's top scorer last season with 19 goals.
No, he can get forward from midfield and he scores goals.
Certainly has the capability of scoring, doesn't he? Free kick again to Brazil, which Branco takes. That's the situation after just over 11 minutes. Well, I'm delighted to tell you that we've now got our pictures back from the Maracanã. Still no goals, still Brazil 0, East Germany 0. And not much in it so far.
There's one or two signs though, Ron. I mean, the Brazilians, when they've got around that box, they are now getting their feel for the 1-2s around the edge of the box. They're playing it into people, making runs off the ball they've played in. There's little signs that they might give East Germany a few problems if the East Germans just go down on the edge of the box and expect to defend there.
Chance now for East Germany to break down the right. This is Kirsten. Doll, the man who got the penalty against Scotland last month in the 1-0 win at Hampden Park. And a chance now for Brazil to break. Jorginho. East Germany have defended well so far though, Don.
Yeah, they've been getting numbers back, mind. I mean, they're virtually only leaving one up. Thomas Dahl, someone like that. You know, they're virtually getting at least kind of 9 men behind the ball, and they're not committing themselves out there. You know, they're only around the box. They're tightening things up. They are going to be difficult to beat. There's no doubt about that.
Foul by Branco gives East Germany another free kick. This is Ernst, East Germany's most capped player. Didn't quite work. Always prepared to try things though, aren't they?
Yeah, they try it, but the crowd are very critical. It didn't come off that time, so the crowd, they didn't boo it, but they were concerned that it didn't come off.
Flags up for offside. Taffarel, the goalkeeper. 25th cap he's winning tonight. Claudio Taffarel. He's one of the home-based players here in Brazil. Plays for Internacional.
A Branco special one.
Branco again. That was swerving. Really can crack him, Dom.
Yeah, well, that's what he'll do. He'll always push up into that kind of forward, left half, inside left position. And Dunga knows he's around, and Dunga picks it up, gets it from the right side, and then just plays him off square onto his knowing on his left side he's got Branco, and of course Branco will hit them.
Dunga.
It can't be easy for the Europeans either in terms of this, you know, being in Italian football, living in Europe, all of a sudden going back to Brazil. We know it's the home country, but like they've been living in Europe all this season, you know, it's a little bit like us when we go down to Brazil. You know, and having to acclimatise quite quickly. Also having on their minds some of those European. I mean, Dunga's going to be playing for Fiorentina in the UEFA Cup final. You know, there are lots of things on the Brazilian players' minds as well as this game.
And 3 Benfica players return to Europe after this game, Don, and will then meet up with the rest of the squad when they come to Europe. They have to play for Benfica against AC Milan in the Champions Cup.
That's right. That's Alder, Ricardo Gomez and Valdo, yeah. And obviously it's an important game for them.
Well, here's the incident which brought the injury to Silas. I think it really brought it on himself, I must say.
Yes.
Tackle on Berger, the full-back.
Well, there's no way he's going to contact the ball then. I mean, the ball was too far ahead of the East German player. I mean, the only thing he could do was strip the East German. And obviously he's injured himself. It's a silly tackle.
Easy one for Taffarel. Jorginho. It's a bit careless.
Well, they always want to give it to Dunga, you see. I mean, wherever they go, if they can't go forward, they give it to Dunga. And sometimes they just expect him to receive every ball.
Branco. Moser. Alamal. Crowd getting just a little restive. Yeah. Branco again. Sold Alamal just a little short with the pass. Dunga. It's good running. And that's a corner.
Well, the Brazilian crowd are no different to any crowd. They expect that the home crowd always expect their team to be in front after 10 minutes, and if they're not in front, they start to get a bit impatient. And obviously, every time there's a bad pass, or if the ball doesn't go forward early, they start moaning and groaning. You know, the Brazilian crowd's no different to a crowd, say, at Queen's Park Rangers or Highbury or Manchester United.
So Branco with Brazil's second corner of the game. And again, the problem, though the near post header, again it's a second corner, but you can see Don's point about the run-up for the corner kicker. He's got no room there at all. He's literally got room for 2 strides, Don, I think. That's a better one. Well taken, though.
Well, he's getting his distance now. That's 3 he's taken, and obviously he got 2 on the trot. So now he's getting the distance there, and he's getting the weight of the, you know, how much weight he's got to put on the ball to get it in there. A bit too long, really, that one, for a near post roll.
Alamal, socks down round his ankles. Dunga. Jorginho. Foul on Branco.
You see, the crowd wouldn't understand this, but you've got to play with patience. You know, the East Germans have got all their team now back in their own half. So, I mean, unless you're prepared to play it about and draw people out of position, you'll never get in there.
It's the only way you're going to create space.
Of course. Of course, and you have to play perhaps squared a couple of times to pull somebody forward to get a little bit of space behind him. But the crowd, you know,
they want them to press forward all the time.
They want the ball to go forward.
And the more you press forward, the more space is compressed.
And you can get caught on the break.
Well, that's the situation with just over 20 minutes gone. We're just about halfway through the first half. And certainly Brazil have had most of the possession. This is Branco. Plays his football in Portugal for Porto. Alamal. Free kick goes to Brazil. Dunga. Beautiful pass. That's neatly done, and that'll be a free kick. Now this could be real danger for East Germany.
That's what he said about Moser. That's what Chrissy Waddle says, like he's made a hell of a good break there and got through and had to be brought down on the edge of the box.
Very composed player, Don.
Yes, yes. Good centre-back.
So now then, what will they cook up here? This is very much within Branco's range.
He's having a chat to it looks like Silas. Normally from this side, it would be a right footer who'd bend it away from the keeper, back inside this near post. But Branco's there with the left foot.
Well, they might have done better with that.
Yep. Well, the East Germans were ready for that. They got the fellow who was charging the shot down. He got out there well.
The East Germans, of course, failed to qualify for the finals in Italy. They were in a tough European qualifying Group 3. The qualifiers from that group, eventually the Soviet Union and Austria. And since then, as Don was saying before the game started, they're now in a transition period where they're starting to rebuild. And certainly a number of their players will now start to look for clubs in West Germany. Doll already is due to go to Hamburg in July. And a number of others too are going across the wall. Schuster gets that away.
Well, they're all going out run to seek their fortune, and you can't blame them for that.
And they've got a lot of good players, Don.
Oh, they've got some good players. Oh, there's no doubt about that. Wherever they go, they'll enhance that country's football. Good disciplined players, the East Germans.
Foul on Silas. Jorginho will take the free kick. Well, no problem with that one.
Well, it looks to me it's typical of when you've brought players together in the international team at the last minute and they've come in from all over the world. You know, you're trying to get a kind of a pattern together. You perhaps haven't got time to do all your dead ball situations. You know, you've got other things, you know, that can wait. So every time they have a free kick or a corner, there doesn't look as though there's too much organisation.
And set pieces always a sign of organisation, Don, aren't they?
Very much
no matter
so.
how talented the players you may have at your disposal, set
That's
pieces,
right.
it's
That's
really
when
all about
you can
organisation.
see. That's when you can see if the coach has been working.
Jorginho, the man fouled. Jorginho plays his football in West Germany for Bayer Leverkusen. This is his 29th cap. He moved to West Germany last year, in fact, from Flamengo, his home club in Brazil. Silas. Branco beaten. Jorginho. But the two fullbacks really do push on, Don, don't
Yes,
they?
they do. Yeah, and Dunga is very clever at bringing his fullbacks into the game. You know, he'll take it from the right back and he'll change the play into the left back, and vice versa. And if a centre back breaks out from the back, he's a very clever player, the midfield player at that. We might criticise him in this country for not playing forward enough, but he's playing square to get people in there.
Alamao. But again, the East Germans back in numbers.
There's one or two heavy tackles going in now.
Well, we say it's a friendly match, Don,
Yeah,
but
Oh,
certainly is being played in a very competitive fashion.
the East Germans are there for a battle. They want a result.
Branco. Dunga. Rosell. Alamao. Stubner gets it clear for East Germany. This is Herzog. Well, it was worth a try, I suppose. It was certainly dipping.
Yeah, well, it was a typical East German build-up. It was down this right-hand side. Then the change of play ball, the diagonal ball went in. I think it was the East German left back who got up there, and he came inside on his right foot and took a shot at goal. It's that type of thing that just might make a goal.
Alemão, little space for him. Chance for Brazil. Well, I think the goalie was just a little lucky there.
Yes, he got away with that. His punch was, it was a poor decision on the punch. He punched it virtually onto the floor, right into the path of the Brazilian. Lucky to get away with that one. But it was the first time we saw Alemão. You know, he came forward and he beat someone. That's when the Brazilians look dangerous, when they're pushing balls into feet around the box. You know, the midfield players pick it up round about midway in the East German half, and they're getting it into feet, and they're clever at receiving it and turning on it, playing 1-2s off it. That's the balls that count, and obviously they're going to get free kicks off it as well, because in the turn he's getting fouled.
Well, then, this free kick certainly is the right side of the area for Branco, Dom.
Yes, it's Branco's side. Yep.
With the left foot.
Yes, he'll drag it across and round.
We don't seem to be too happy with the ball, though, whether it's gone a little soft or not. So a new ball produced. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7 West Germans in the wall. Goalkeeper lines it up, but this surely will be Branco with the free kick.
Getting men in the wall to blind the goalkeeper so he can't see it. They'll get out the way at the last minute, Ron.
So Branco.
Good wall.
They look well organised in defence.
Oh yes, oh without a doubt. You can bet they knew, obviously they knew that when they're playing the Brazilians, hey, these free kicks around the box, let's make sure we get a good wall up. They'd have spent some time organising that.
So Brazil's 4th corner kick of the game, but the first one from this side, which Silas will take. And it looks as if he got an injury to
I think that's the player that the ball hit. Branco's shot hit. We just stun him for a while, but he's okay.
Okay again, so the corner to Brazil. It's another free kick.
That far post corner, the one that's knocked right to the far post, well, that one is for Moser. Chrissy Waddler said he's absolutely brilliant in the air, given the right delivery. Just leaving 1 against 1 on the back post and just flight the ball in there. 9 times out of 10 he'll get it.
Well, this looks like Alemão with this one. It's a little wider on the right, of course. That's a difficult one.
You see him there? He absolutely climbs so high. He's virtually above the bar to head it down.
And an intelligent header back across goal.
Yes,
John.
He realises when he was in the air he couldn't score.
Dunga. Dunga. Alemão. It's neatly done.
That's better played by Brazil. That's Brazilian football at its best.
They play those little 1-2s so sharply.
Yes, that's right. And they get the little twists and turns.
Was there again. He was a little disappointing in the match against England at Wembley, though, Don.
Yeah, he seemed very quiet, yes, that night.
Silas. Alamao. Silas again. Alamao making the run on the outside.
It's good to see that running off the ball, which is a trademark of Brazilian football as well. The running off the ball more times than not is absolutely brilliant.
Well, Tafarel in the Brazilian goal hasn't really had a difficult save to make so far. Silas. Dunga. Alamao. Dunga again. So just about 10 minutes left in this first half in the Maracanã. Still Brazil 0, East Germany 0. That's the situation. Branco.
Needs a goal run, doesn't it? It needs
does
something
at the moment,
to liven it up.
doesn't it?
It's gone a little bit, yes.
We keep saying how,
a little bit flat.
How promising Brazil look, and in flashes they certainly do. But the East Germans are largely content to defend, aren't they?
They're containing them well, yes, they are.
And the thing that would bring the game to life a little would be a goal.
Be a goal. If they have got a weakness, the East Germans, in defence, it is that ball in the air. You know, I know it's not the Brazilian style to kind of hit back post crosses, but 2 or 3 could help, because they might not win the cross, but the header away won't go that far. They can pick up something from there.
So Branco with a corner. Awkward one at the near post, but this time it's a goal kick. Yes, the intriguing thing is, Don, that so often we think about the neat little moves around the box which might work, and yet so often it is that ball which is played in high which can be so much more effective.
Route 1 they call it, Ron.
Yes.
Well, I mean, as daft as it seems, you know, you get some defenders who technically defend in a super, but perhaps they can't head the ball, you know, and that's the thing that will find them out.
Now then, East Germany with a rare chance to attack. Tackle was a good one, though.
That's why everybody's looking for the English centre forward, as we so-called, you know, the Mark Hateleys, the players like this who have gone abroad. It's only because of that Route 1 ball, which is hard to defend against.
So East Germany win their first corner kick. It's a good ball inside the full-back, and the throw goes to East Germany. Long throw. Silas. Dunga. Branco. Difficult one to the far post.
But there's a nice deep cross, the first one we've seen. They won it easily on the back post. Somebody gets on the header back across goal, they score a goal. You know, to test a defence out, you've got to have all the kind of avenues of attack. You know, it's not just a case of a good 1-2 or a dribble. It is the cross. You know, it's all different kinds of things that will find a defence out.
Throw in to Brazil. Branco with the throw. Alder. Alamau. Good turn. Chance for Brazil. Good save.
Now there.
By Brotagum.
That was a bit of class. That was a lovely little 1-2 to start with. And then a run off the ball and a little flick. Nice turn on the edge of the box. Everything was right about it.
And Brotagum did well to save it. Just past the post, but they're starting to get their corner kicks right as well, Don.
Yes, well, that's about, I would think they've had at least 8, Ron. You know, it gives the kicker a chance to kind of measure the distance and get the right weight on the ball.
So just about 5 minutes to half time. Branco with the header. Foul by Ricardo. Ernst with the free kick. Stubner. He's done well. Takes on Branco. Ball still in play.
I thought that was a dodgy tackle, really. He tackled him from the back.
Flags up. Referee Luis Carlos Felix. Dunga. Jorginho. Steinman. Alder. Looked like a handball by Careca, but the referee waves play on. Alamau, and it's there. The first goal for Brazil. and it's Alemão who's got it. And in many respects, Don, a typical Brazil goal.
Yeah, well, the ball's played in and he picks out the runner. Alemão made a hell of a good run off the ball. As he goes into feet there, he keeps his run going. Then he's pushed inside the defender. He wins it well on the end of it and slides it back to the goalkeeper. You know, that's it's good running off the ball, really, but it is that type of thing is noted about the Brazilians.
And the strength as well to hold off the challenge of the defender.
Yes, there. He had to win that one. He had to get his shoulder in first.
And then the composure with a finish.
Yeah, nice little, tucked it away well.
And really just what we wanted in the game.
Yeah, that's right. Let's just hope now that the East Germans will take that as a kind of, well, if we're going to get something out of this, we will have to get forward, make it a little bit open, and go from there.
And that's Alemão's 6th goal for his country in his 31st international. Brazil 1, East Germany 0. And will this now set the Brazilians alight? And it'll be interesting as well, Don, to see the effect this has on the East Germans too.
Yes, yeah. Well, we're coming up to half-time. It gives the coach kind of chance to rearrange things and look at the game in a different light.
It's a good turn by Steinmann. Wins the free kick. Ernst. Well, it's a little ambitious. But the score just about a fair reflection on the play.
I think so, yes. Obviously, I mean, Brazil have taken the ball to the East Germans all the time, and they've had to be patient. They've had to try and knock it around a little bit, then play a few into feet, and they've got their just rewards at the end.
Stubner to Borger. Jorginho does the tidying up.
When they've got forward, the East Germans, and they've run at the Brazilian defenders, they looked as though they can get in. They just don't get the numbers forward.
Well, they may be a little more ambitious from now on,
yep.
Don, certainly when they get back in the dressing room and regroup and reorganise things a little bit. Branco, who's found himself wide on the right, wins the free kick.
I think Alemão will be glad of the rest at half-time. He has run himself hard for the Brazilian team. He's worked hard. He deserves that goal in many ways. His running off the ball has been superb. He's played ahead of midfield. He's supported the front players all the time.
And that's the last action of the first half. So then, Brazil with a goal by Alemão just before half-time. That's the situation. Brazil 1, East Germany 0. Rejoin us here on Screen Sport for the second half. So welcome back to the Maracanã Stadium in Rio de Janeiro. Brazil 1, East Germany 0 is the half-time score, and just about right so far, with Brazil certainly having the best of things so far. The East Germans largely have been content to defend with occasional breaks, especially down the right-hand side, but Brazil more and more were starting to get their short passing game, especially in the final third of the game, together, and one or two near misses we had before the goal came, just before half-time. The nearest Brazil came to a goal was just about halfway through the half, and it was a brilliant save, in fact, by goalkeeper Grotingham, which kept the East Germans in it. But that a rather typical Brazil moved on.
Yeah, the ball into feet, The man on the edge of the box getting turned, laying it into the run up the side of him. Good shot and a good save.
Goalkeeper did really well. And then, just before half-time, came the goal which broke the deadlock. Alamau involved in it a couple of times. Kept the run going. Held off the defender. And there it was in the corner of the net.
Well, I think he's been one of the Brazilians' outstanding players, mainly because he's been playing positively. You know, he has been trying to play in a forward midfield position. He has made a lot of runs off the ball. All the balls that have been played into feet ahead of him, he's gone on to and gone and supported and gone past, as he did there, to get on the end of that ball. And he was very determined at the end of that. He has to fight for that one there. And slides it away beautifully inside the far post.
And it was interesting that Don Howe was saying earlier on that often Alamau has disappointed in a Brazil shirt, hasn't always shown the sort of form that he shows for his club side Napoli in Italy, Don.
More times than not, Ron, they put him on the bench. They bring him on in the second half. He's always impressed me.
So then, 1-0 Brazil lead at half-time. The teams will be out fairly soon, so you can rejoin us after another break. So we still await the arrival of the two teams for the second half. Brazil leading East Germany by 1-0. Alamau's goal just before half-time. And a reminder that this is Brazil's last game on home soil before they leave for Europe and their World Cup campaign in Italy. Are they likely to make one or two changes in the second half, do you think, Don?
I don't know, Ron. He's got to be thinking about that. He's got to make his mind up now quite quickly on his 22 to go to the World Cup. He's got a few injured players. He's got Romario, the PSV centre forward. Will his broken leg be ready for the World Cup or not? He's got Bebeto now, who is kind of still injured. He has definitely got to make his mind up on one or two positions. These kind of games, these warm-up games, sometimes you think, well, come on, you can give a little bit more, but the idea of the thing is just to bring the players together, let them work together. Obviously the crowd want to see a hell of a good game and they want to see plenty of goals, but that will come in. He's trying to get the timing right. When he gets to the World Cup, he wants these players to be at their best. He doesn't want them to be at their best at this moment. It's too early. They'll be over the top.
Well, I think we can have another look at the goal which separates the two sides at the moment. It came just before half-time. And it was very neatly set up. A hint of handball by Careca. But Alamau, who does so well, first of all with the initial run, then his strength holding off the defender, and the composure with the finish. Was a high-quality goal. Well, now, what about the East Germans, Don? They've been relatively unambitious in the first half, haven't they? They've been content to defend, and they've defended very well, to be fair to them. What will their approach now be in the second half, do you reckon?
Yes, they are. Well, obviously, we hope that they say, or the coach says, now, come on, all right, we came here just to keep things tight and perhaps get a result. Now we won behind. Come on, let's see if we can get an equaliser and go from there. We hope he's saying that to them. There's no reason why he shouldn't, because they haven't got anything to lose. They've got everything to gain. They're there for experience. They're there to give the players experience for 2 years' time. The coach should be very positive about it.
So then, we're just about to get underway in the second half. And so far we haven't spotted any changes on either side. The usual problem, of course, we now have to clear away all the photographers. The usual interviews going on in the dugouts. I don't really imagine Bobby Robson would allow that, Tom.
No, I don't think so. Well, I don't think we'd allow it in England, would we? I mean, we just don't do these things. We do it right. We get the players on the pitch. They're the important thing. The referee gets out, gets all of it, and we get on with the game.
Brazil, of course, in the World Cup in Italy, will play in the same group as Scotland, Sweden and Costa Rica, and you would expect them to certainly qualify for the second stage from there, Don, wouldn't you?
Yes, of course. Yeah, yeah.
So then we're ready to get underway, and it will be Brazil to kick off in this second half. The referee, Luis Carlos Felix, and Careca, along with Valdo, will get us underway. 1-0 Brazil lead, and at last the pitch is clear. That's the Brazilian reserve goalkeeper, Acacio, and we're underway. So a 1-0 lead Brazil carry into this second half. Moser, Branco, Dunga, good break down the left. Well, couldn't really get any great purchase on the shot, Valdo, and it was a comfortable save for Bruttingham in the East German goal.
Well, they got plenty in the box there. Run for the crosser to get into.
Alemão for Brazil. No free kick. That's a great tackle. Herzog gets it back again to Bruttingham. This is Herzog. Steinmann. Lindbergh. Berger. Ernst. Well read though by Moser. And the free kick given.
Well, at least run from the signs here, at least the East Germans are getting numbers forward. You know, we're getting more players, the ball's going forward into the Brazilian half, and we're seeing plenty of white shirts around the ball.
So certainly danger now for the Brazil defence. And it's there. The equaliser.
Very.
Looks as if it was Thomas Dahl who got the ball back across goal.
That looks a weakness. I mean, the Bulgarians got it very similar. The ball to the back post, nobody marks, headed back across the goal. Fella on the near post comes in, flicks it in. All the fella did, all the centre forward did was just pull away to the back post, and he got free, look.
And Dahl it is who's got the goal for East Germany, so an equaliser. A very similar situation to last week where Bulgaria got an equaliser after Brazil had taken the lead early on. So 1-1, and we're just 4 minutes into the second half. Oh, that's a great save. Well, Perry Bruttingham is winning just his third cap for East Germany, but that really was a fine reflex save, Don.
Yes, but it was a kind of a low cross and then a run from the back up behind the ball again. Nice shot. They did well to get it over the bar there.
Careca with a shot, and Brazil's first corner kick of this second half. Branco. Aimed long. Moser gets it back across goal. That'll be a corner on the other side.
Here he comes to the back post, Moser. They're firing the balls at him now on this back post.
Alamau. And a wall of white shirts coming out as Alamau flicked it over the first man. Has a little word with the referee, but the free kick already given. Flag was up for offside. Jorginho with a foul.
Well, let's just hope that the East Germans kind of say, well, yeah, we can score goals against the Brazilians. Let's keep getting forward now. You know, they've come out in the second half and said, come on, let's get numbers forward. When we get possession of the ball and we get the ball in the Brazilian half, let's get players forward. Let's just hope they keep it going.
Ernst. And certainly the reaction of the home crowd will be interesting. That's the situation after 6 minutes of the second half. Jorginho. Pulled down by Pesce. But the game has been highly competitive throughout, Don, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean the tackles have been going in. I mean you wouldn't say that you know, it's been a kind of a friendly in its way. I mean, when both teams have put their foot in when it's come to trying to win the ball back.
And I suppose, as far as Brazil's build-up to the World Cup is concerned, they couldn't really ask for a better test.
No, I mean, obviously, they're going to play these type of games in the opening part of the competition in the World Cup, where people will be highly competitive and they'll defend the goal and they won't give anything away. They won't want to be beaten. So it's, in that respect, it's a good practice.
So then, this being lined up from some 30 yards by Branco. And he's certainly capable of hitting the target from here. But I think there was a slight deflection on that one. And again, the goalkeeper has done well.
Well, let's plan that deflection run. Is a lot of Brazilian players run across the face of the goalkeeper, across the wall, and obviously defenders follow them. So it can either hit a moving forward or it can hit a moving defender, and you'll get a deflection like that.
So yet another corner to Brazil, their 9th of the game so far. Dunga. Branco making the run on the outside. Back infield to Dunga though. Charged down by Boga. But the throw goes to Brazil. Ernst. Dunga. Valdo. Chance, and it's just wide. Well, that was the best Brazilian chance of the second half, and it's Careca who's put it just wide. That was a good chance, Don.
Ron, you would have put money on that lad would score. I mean, he's knocked so many of those in for Napoli this season. There's a lovely little cross at the back of the defence, bent round the back of the defence. You would have put money on it if he scored there. In fact, it was more difficult to kind of knock it wide because he's virtually sent a goal.
It's one of the most dangerous balls in football.
Oh yes, the bending ball round the back of the defence, yeah. Super cross.
Dunga again. Really has controlled midfield.
The crowd react to those things. They react to those little individual skills. In the heart of a game, now obviously they want Brazil to win and they want them to score goals. But if a player shows them that little bit of touch of class, and it seems to bring the crowd alive.
Throw to Brazil. But again, the East German defence very well organised, given very little away. Schuster tries to do a little too much. I think the whistle had already gone. Jorginho to Dunga. Alamao, little space for him. Branco, lovely cross. Careca. And it's 2-1 to Brazil. And that really was a high-quality move. Yeah, started in midfield. Don.
Well, it was a super pass. Once more, Almao was concerned with it. He started it. And the cross was a replica of the last one he missed. You know, just pushed out wide there. Little bend round the back of the defender. Come and met it, knocks it into inside the near post. Watch him bend it round the defender here.
Very similar to the earlier move.
Exactly the same. But this one he hit the target with.
And Brazil go back in front. 2-1 they now lead. 12 minutes into the second half. And of course it's brought the crowd to life. One question I should ask you, Don. You saw the Brazilians at Wembley. On the evidence of what you've seen so far, have you learned anything new about them?
Obviously no. They're not, I mean, we know the strengths of people like Careca. We're all waiting to see whether it's going to be Beto or Muller, or if Romario is going to be fit.
Another chance for Brazil, and that one wasted.
But in general, I think we know the strengths. You know, they've got these two big centre-backs who, if you run at them, you can go by them if you really run at them. We virtually know the situation. We know Dunga's the playmaker in midfield. He's the fellow everybody passes the ball to. Alamao, for me, really is when he's played kind of pushed on forward and he plays just in behind Careca, you know, and he's supporting Careca and he's picking up balls behind the East German midfield, then they start to create chances. He's the one who's impressed me in this game. He'd be the one who I'd say, no, hang on, if you know he's playing, we better watch him.
Well, he's got to do a bit of defending now. This is Doll, and there's the man making the tackle, in fact, Alamao. He really has got through an enormous amount of work in this game, as well as getting the first goal for Brazil. Ernst with the throw-in for East Germany. East German throw again. Doll. Careca. Brazil starting to turn it on a little. Dunga. Chance for Dunga, it's there.
He was a little bit lucky to get the rebound off the defender there, but give him credit for it. He attacked the box, he went in trying to play 1-2s. Just got the rebound off the defender, then cracked it home.
Well, the man from Fiorentina, Dunga, who's had an outstanding game, setting up so many things, breaks through himself this time, and it's a great finish, Don.
Yes, it was a good shot at the end of it. It's really got the crowd going, this one.
There's the little bit of luck.
Yeah, broke for him.
But Broughtingham in the East German goal, no chance at all with that one. And it's 3-1 to Brazil. And suddenly the game has taken on a totally different aspect. Branco. "15 minutes into the second half, and Brazil lead 3-1. And it's turned the whole game round on, isn't it?
Yes, it has. I mean, they have been two. I mean, there could be 4-1 up with the head of the Careca miss, but you know, they've been super goals, and obviously goals do make a match.
Well, as we were debating earlier on, I think manager Lazzaroni is now going to make several substitutions. Muller comes off, and he's now obviously got to have a look at one or two other squad players.
Yes, of course. This is what he's waiting for. This is what he's hoping for. I mean, if the game had stayed, say, 1 each or no goals, he'd have been perhaps sitting with his best players, thinking, well, I don't want to be beaten, at least in this game. But now he's 3-1 ahead. He can give one or two of the squad players who he's got to pick in his 22 and say, well, get out there, lads, and show us what you can do. And there's no doubt about it, the World Cup is about 22 players. You know, it is the ability of a manager of a World Cup team to pick a nice balanced 22, so that if he doesn't come off in the first game, he knows exactly where to turn to for the second game. Bobby Robson did the same out in Mexico. You know, he had a few problems with Brian Robson, then he had a few problems with Ray Wilkins getting sent off, but he was in a position to put in people like Peter Reid, who went on and knitted into the team straight away, and we did quite well in Mexico in the World Cup because of that. It's not about a manager picking a team, it's about a manager picking 22 players who he can call upon at any time.
Well, they're certainly buzzing at the moment, and these Germans suddenly are under real pressure. Alamao, good tackle on him that time. It's a great cross.
That was a nice move and a lovely cross to the back post to Careca, who pulled right to the back post.
And the header.
I think he tried to just loop the keeper, just kind of stick it over the keeper to drop inside the far post. Just got it wrong.
It's a clever bit of skill, actually, wasn't it?
Oh yes, yes. Well, from that distance, it's the only type of header that could beat a goalkeeper.
Dunga. Jorginho. Needs support from behind. Almost worked. Careca with the little return ball for Mazer. But it's all Brazil at the moment. Alamao.
Well, they're all joining in now, Ron. I mean, that's first it was Moser who tried to play a 1-2 on the edge of the box, and then Ricardo Gomez who tried to get through at the end.
It'll be a corner. So the sudden breakout of defence by the East Germans. But they're under a lot of pressure now. And you can almost see the confidence rising in the Brazil side, Don.
Yeah, that's right. Well, obviously they've got the crowd going, the crowd are behind them, they're in front. The confidence is starting to get a lot better.
So the corner to East Germany. 3-1 Brazil lead. Ernst. Stubner. Back come Brazil again. No one at the far post. Dunga. They seem to be getting more players forward in number now.
Yes, yes. They're very clever at making runs from behind the ball. You know, the ball gets up to front players and he holds on to it, just waiting for a run to come from behind him. And just as he gets the timing right, as the players kind of gets up to him, he slips him forward, he slips it in behind the defenders. They're very good at that tactic, the Brazilians. Making runs from the behind the ball.
So we're just about halfway through this second half in the Maracanã Stadium in Rio. Steinmann for East Germany, but the flag was already up. Alamar. Dunga. Well played by Boga. Back on Brazil. Referee plays the advantage. Now then, chance for East Germany. It's a good save by the goalkeeper, but it's a second East German goal.
He was very unlucky there, Taffarel, because his first save was a good one. He came out, he stood in, and he made his challenge at the right time. He was unlucky that he got it back. He went back to an East German who was following up the attack.
Ernst, the man who's got it. The run by Kirsten takes him clear. Good save by Taffarel, a little unlucky, but Ernst following up makes it 3-2.
What happened there on the halfway line was Dunga was behind his centre-backs for some no reason, and he was playing the man on.
So the Brazilians pushing forward, caught out, and there's always that danger, isn't there?
Well, that's right. I mean, as desperate it seems, you know, they're not mugs, the East Germans. They can come back and get 3 goals as well as the Brazilians have.
So we've got quite a game on our hands for the last 20 minutes. Brazil 3, East Germany 2. This is Thomas Dahl. Bebeto. Dahl. Well, think the player's confused as to whether or not it was a free kick for handball or a throw-in. I think the free kick given. And it's earned the goal scorer who'll take it. Dunga. Well, yet another free kick in a dangerous position for Brazil.
They gain so many free kicks that way. They just played in defeat. The man on the edge of the box gets all the ball, tries to turn. The defender makes the lunge. Over goes the forward. They've got another free kick on the edge of the box. And obviously, if you keep doing this against the Brazilians, one's going to go in the net.
Well, another chance for Branco maybe. Or are we going to have another substitution? Looks as if we very well could. Moser also lining up the free kick. Won't be Branco this time, I don't think. That's the score, with 26 minutes gone in the second half. Well, it dipped, but not enough.
No, not early enough, no. It was too high over the wall. Ron, you know, if you score off a free kick, the ball virtually has got to go 3 inches over the wall for it to get down in time.
It's interesting though, Don, the Brazilians have always been prepared to take those sort of free kicks from 25, 30 yards, have a crack at goal, and there's no real criticism if they miss, as they did on that occasion. And it's really only recently in England, for example, that a player like John Barnes has almost been given the freedom to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, we've got players now who have got the confidence to knock it over the wall and not be afraid to fail. That's the most important thing. You know, sometimes players, they have a go and it goes high, wide and handsome, and the crowd start to moan, so the player loses his confidence to try it again. The Brazilians don't worry about that, like you said.
Jorginho, that's an awkward cross, and again the goalkeeper struggling a little. He did well, in fact, to finally just get his fingertips to it, to flick it away. But some of those crosses which are curled in behind the defenders are proving troublesome, Dom.
Yeah, well, they bend it round the defender who comes out to block it. They bend it round him, and then obviously, you know, they're pulling back away from the keeper. They're coming out towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and that one took a deflection as well. He did well to get his hands to it, Brodigan.
Herzog. And Perry Brettingham certainly has done very well in goal. He's conceded 3, but really had no chance with any of them, and he's made 1 or 2 very good saves as well. Flags up, offside.
I always think that's another thing about the Brazilians, is if your midfield players can make runs, you know, you get people like Dunga who's a very skillful player, but really his running ability is very poor. You know, he can't run. You know, you tend to think, well, Dunga, you know, whoever's around Dunga, if you make a run, he'll never be able to stay with you.
Well, the little dummy from Bebeto didn't quite work that time. Just over 15 minutes left for play. Brazil 3, East Germany 2. Jorginho. Dunga. Cleverly done. Men at the far post. It's a free kick. Given away by Jorginho.
I'll be just trying to think what the manager of Brazil, Lazzaroni, will be thinking, Ron. He obviously he's got to be lifted when they got 3-1 in front and they're starting to look as though they're going to play well. And then he's got to think, well, but at the same time, we look vulnerable at the back. If people run at us or they make runs from midfield, you know, there are goals at the other end. So in one area he's being lifted, in another area he's still getting question marks.
Yes, it's interesting, Don, because Brazil traditionally, in the past anyway, have always been prepared to concede goals on the basis that they'll always score more.
Yes.
But the game has changed a bit, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Bebeto for Brazil. Oh, well, that could have been a fourth. It was beautifully set up for Baldo, and he did well. Hit it on the volley. It was dipping. Good chance though, Don.
Oh well, yes, it was. It was. He again. You know, he should hit the target.
But it's that little 1-2 on the edge of the box.
Yes, yes. It's the ball played into feet on the edge of the box that sets it all up. You know, and the fellow receives the ball on the edge of the box. He disguises it well because he might not play it back to the runner. You know, the fellow who plays it into him, who's making the run, he'll like use him as a decoy and play it off at another angle to another player coming in, as he did then.
Well, that was Correca all the way back, helping out and getting the ball back to Tafarel. Jorginho.
I would say, if you look at the world in terms of front players, in terms of being able to do that on the edge of the box, Correca and Romario, and whether Romario will be fit for the World Cup, I don't know, are the best two. You know, if you get enough balls into their feet around that box, they will create something either for someone else or for themselves.
Yes, Romario out of the game at the moment with a broken leg. The man from PSV Eindhoven. They're still hoping that he'll be fit enough to join the squad, Dom.
Yes, that's right. I was over in Holland at PSV a couple of weeks ago, and they were telling me that he's got two Brazilian physios staying in Holland with him to try and get him fit. Whether the Brazilian physios are better than the Dutch physios, I don't know. I would think it's a psychological thing, really.
But also an indication of how important they feel he is to the setup.
Oh yes, I mean, for all I know, he could have those physios could have been sent over from the Brazilian Federation, Football Federation.
So just over 10 minutes to go, as East Germany 2 now decide on 1 or 2 substitutions. Ernst, the goal scorer. That's offside. Jorginho. Moser. Jorginho again. Still makes the run forward. But the goal kick goes to East Germany. So we're inside the last 10 minutes.
It's 23 centigrade there, Ron. So it's it's fairly hot.
And it'll be hot
I
in
think
Italy
obviously
too.
it's going to be hot in Italy, but it's a good workout at a good temperature.
Is this something the England players are a bit concerned about?
Well, we're taking them out to Sardinia fairly early, so according to the physiologist, Ron, it takes 10 days to get to acclimatise to heat. And in those 10 days, obviously, the players have to work hard. It's a case of getting the sweat glands working. This is what the doctor tells us. And really what they've got to do, they've got to be out in this kind of heat for the first 10 days. So the sweat glands get used to kind of cooling the body down, because that's how it works.
Well, Brazil have to do a little defending now. They lead 3-2, but this could certainly spell some danger for them as Taffarel starts to organise his defence. That's danger. Well, it was Careca who came flying across, and I think there was just a little deflection off Careca, and it's given East Germany a corner, but that was a dangerous
It only
kick.
needed a touch, Ron. It just needed one little flick and it was in the back of the net. They don't seem to be well organised on dead ball situations, for or against. That's been driven hard into the back post. It could go anywhere.
So the corner to be taken by Stubner. It's interesting that we've seen less and less in the last 10 minutes of Dunga as a real influence in midfield.
He looks tired, Ron.
Socks down around his ankles now, I know.
Well, he was caught out for the second goal. He was behind his own defence and he played the player on when the defence were trying to play offside, and he couldn't get back. And there was another run from midfield where he was trying to track back, and the farther he went, the farther behind he got. I would think he'd be one of the players to be subbing now.
Well, he was fouled on that occasion, but he is looking a little weary. But they rely very heavily on him, Don. Almost everything is played through him in midfield.
Yeah, he's the outlet, Anybody who's in trouble on the ball, Dunga's there. Give it to Dunga, he'll sort it out for us.
Well, that's the situation with now just about 7 minutes left in the game.
He's lunged in there on that foul. I mean, he was nowhere near the tackle.
And a sign of tiredness in
Oh
many
yes,
respects.
of course. Yes. I mean, when he makes his lunge, he's a good yard off the ball.
It's a bad tackle.
I think in the World Cup that will be booked, Ron. Tackle like that.
So, East Germany certainly putting on a little pressure in the closing minutes. They've certainly provided Brazil with a good challenge, Don.
Yes, they have, yeah. It's turned out to be, a good workout.
Now, what can they do from this?
And because nobody knows about Taffarel, is he a good goalkeeper or not? They really haven't had a good goalkeeper in Brazil for a long time. Gilmar, I think, way back in the late 50s and 60s was...
Won over 100 caps.
That's
yes.
right, but since him, they really haven't...
Well, that's a well-worked free kick. Almost worked.
Yes, well, a little dummy over the ball, and the ball being played outside the wall, wide of the wall, for the runner to get in. Nearly got him into a crossing position.
Too close to the goalkeeper, who again is prepared to punch it away.
He's gone as Dunga. Ron, he's absolutely out on his feet.
Kareka to Dunga. So, just over 5 minutes left. Well, Dunga's got enough strength to push forward. And that'll be a corner. I think on balance, Don, we'd have to say that Brazil have looked a good deal more impressive in attack than they have in defence.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Well, that's the score, with now less than 5 minutes to go. Dunga with a shot. Well, this will be East Germany's first defeat in 5 internationals. That's if the score remains as it is, of course, for the remaining 4 minutes or so. They've beaten Egypt, Scotland and the United States. And in their last match last week, they drew with Trinidad 1-1. But for them, of course, it's building for the future, because no World Cup for them this time round. Flag was up. Whistle already gone. Doll. Galvao. Dunga. Another free kick to Brazil. Kareka. Struck it well, but well wide. The crowd starting to leave the Maracanã. Didn't really get hold of that one.
No, it screwed away off his, the outside of his right boot. But they're still prepared to take the next shot, you know. I mean, it's this positive thing about shooting with the Brazilians, you know. Around that box, anyone will take a shot.
So as the crowd start to leave, Don, do you think they'll be leaving feeling that their side can bring the World Cup back to Brazil for a 4th time?
I really don't know, Ron. The Brazilians have been brought up with some great players and some good teams. You know, and whether you like it or not, they'll always measure their players and their team against those great teams. And it's hard for the present-day players to live up to that. I suppose, you know, a good win in the big stadium in the city is a help.
Dunga.
You can bet your bottom dollar there'll be thousands of Brazilians over with their drums in Italy, cheering them on. That's for a fact. Doing the samba and entertaining the crowd, because the Brazilian supporters can also entertain the crowd. They'll be there.
So, inside the last minute, another corner to Brazil. Dunga still keeping things going. That's a free kick. foul by Ernst. And so this may well be the last chance for Brazil to get a fourth goal. Dunga organising things, and a yellow card for Thomas Doll right at the end. Shame that, with the game virtually over as we go into injury time. And it will be Dunga with the free kick. Curls that one in. Well, now then, can we get an East German equaliser right at the death? Oh, well.
He's very lucky to get a yellow card. Should have been red.
Well, I think that's a rather different game than football, Tom.
Yes, that's one of those cynical things about football.
But there we are.
Which,
in injury time, Brazil leading 3-2. And really, that has no place in the game, it has to be said. The skill had taken him clear of the defence.
Well, it was 2-on-1, Ron, really, as they were attacking the last player. The fella on the ball decided to go by himself. If he flicks it to his right-hand side, the man on his right-hand side's got to run for goal, just like the second goal. He could have played it off, but, you know, he was going to go past the defender anyway. I mean, if the defender doesn't pull him down rugby style, he gets through.
So a yellow card and a free kick to East Germany, and we're over a minute into injury time. Brazil lead 3-2, but it so easily might have been 3-all. Free kick, and it's there. Well, that's poetic justice, you have to say. A superb goal by Stubner has made it 3-all.
I think we're going to have to look at the goalkeeper here, Ron, because it's in the goalkeeper's space. You know, the wall's in the correct position. He beats him where he should be. He must have crept across to the central part of the goal, the goalkeeper. I wish we could see the goalkeeper now. Yes, he's took a more central position up. Super shot. Outside the far post, just bending back enough to clip inside the post and go in off the post.
And I suppose you have to say there's a little poetic justice in that.
Yes, of course, because without a doubt, the fellow looked as though he was going to score.
Well, that really has set the cat amongst the pigeons. And if you want to talk about fickle crowds, well, listen to the booing now as the final whistle blows. And that is the final score. And my goodness me, aren't the East Germans delighted? Brazil 3, East Germany 3. And quite a game in the end, Don Hull.
Yeah, the second half was a superb game. And up to a point, you know, you give it the East Germans, they have been a lot more positive in the second half, and they've caught them on the break, they've caught the Brazilians on the break. I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing for a manager in this situation. It's a good thing that it'll keep the Brazilian players' feet on the ground. He can get at them and he can say, hey, come on, we couldn't beat the East Germans at home. We're going to have to work hard at our tactics. We're going to have to work hard at our fitness. We're going to have to work hard at our dead ball situations, defending and attacking. So at least he's got that where he can get at the players. If they walk off winning, say, 3-1, you know, they get carried away with themselves, thinking that they catch whiskers and perhaps don't want to work as hard. So in some ways, it might be a good thing for Lazzaroni.
So, a quick final assessment then of how you see Brazil as they go to Italy?
Oh, without a doubt, like I said earlier on, they're in my top 6. You know, I think the World Cup's very open, and they bracket alongside Italy, West Germany, Holland, England. You know, they'll definitely be one of the top countries in the frame to win the World Cup.
And from your point of view, looking at it as an England coach, anything there that...
Well, if I was Andy Roxburgh, I'd be saying, well, we can beat Brazil as well. You know, I mean, Scotland have got to play them in their group. And I think Andy Roxburgh, he'd look at that game and think, well, who else could they bring in? And they can't bring many more players in. This defence is not as sound as what it ought to be. In Brazil, in midfield, they're not as good defending in midfield as they are attacking. I think Andy Roxburgh will be a most pleased man tonight.
There was a little period when Brazil went 3-1 ahead when they really did look good,
Yes.
and when the confidence was flowing.
That's right. They started to play those little 1-2s around the box and playing off each other. And when they do that, you know, you've got problems. But you know, can they keep that going? Have they got the confidence to keep that going?
So then, that's the situation from the Maracanã in Rio. The final score: Brazil 3, East Germany 3. A quite remarkable game in the end. And Brazil now go off for their final preparation in Spain initially, and then on to Italy.